Good morning, intercessors. Good morning. Welcome to the Intercessor Zone, day 14, prayer initiative, prophetic tailwind. Again, get a friend, share the link, get pen and paper. We're talking about the prophetic tailwinds on today. So, yes, we are on day 14 of our contending for the 21-day prayer campaign, a global mandate to increase mission mobilization, vision revitalization, and restructure of a ministry or ministry structures. While you are moving in the mission from the parameters of the parameters within you, while you are enlarging yet your boundaries, you're enlarging yet your territories, you're enlarging yet your regions. So as you move in Him and have your being, you are walking in the expansion of who you are. Again, today we are speaking about prophetic tailwind. This is for the intercessors that are not only going through transition, but for those that are stuck or parked trying to figure things out. And you heard what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. You have the vision, you are holding on to it as an anchor, but you're still trying to figure things out. Again, we're talking about the prophetic tailwinds. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the intercessor zone. We'll begin with Isaiah 40 and 13. Who hath directed the Spirit of the Lord, or being his counselor had taught him? Okay, so what is a prophetic tailwind? A prophetic tailwind is accurately describing or predicting what will happen in the future, relating to or the characteristics of a prophet or a prophecy. Foreseeing, it is very revelatory, it is predicting. So it's one thing to decree the word of the Lord, it's one thing to release the word of the Lord, it's another to move in the foretelling of time, it's another thing to move and navigate time, it's another thing for your actions and what you are and where you are maneuvering or where you are executing. You are now releasing time. Okay, you're releasing time. Now tailwind, what is a tailwind? A wind that blows in the same direction as something that is moving forward. On how we said is that there's a wind in our back. There's a wind in our back. So therefore, moving forward, this is going to bless you. This is going to bless you. The next wave of glory is going to be disruptive. We've experienced it yet with COVID. Yes, we are now experiencing some form of normality. We are now putting new norms in place. But even for the intercessors that are in tune or aligned with time, knows that we are bringing the next wave, the next norm, the next weight of glory. So it's not over, it's just beginning. It's just beginning. So if you, the intercessor, is not one with time, if you're not careful, you will be waging war against the next wave of glory. So I said that to say this: wake up, wake up, wake up, arise, 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 and awaken, and awaken. Come out of the slumber, come out of the sleep. Okay, the force is not permissible by your thoughts, but rather allowed by your spirit, which means get out of the way, get out of the way. What is happening? What is executing? What is maneuvering now? The spirit is maneuvering. And if you're not one with what God is doing, it's going to be very revolutionary, very aggressive. Okay. So for those that knows that this is their time and what God is executing in the earth realm, this is a portal, a gateway. The moment they know that they're long overdue. So the enemy of your soul will not let up, but you should not and cannot give in either. The temptations in the past seasons to give up and give out, for those that's been experiencing burnt out, low energy, not no stimulation of mental capacity or exchange of knowledge, which means who could catch you or meet you where you're at rather than you coming down to express yet the intent, the mind of God. Rather, they could catch you in the spirit. Okay, they could catch you in the spirit. So there's a new determination in you. And for those that's been there, done that again, they're tired and fatigued now. There's a new determination in you. Okay, that's rising within your spirit that will now overflow your soul. You have now caught your second wind, and now you're having the grasp or that fresh, or your heart has been resuscitated, and now there's a newness or a freshness about you. You will quickly recognize the thoughts and emotions that defy yet your destiny. At this point, you are now assessing systems, you are assessing plot schemes, you are now assessing cycles. And now, as you are analyzing, you're now pinpointing the cycle that came to keep you in a loop of time, to keep you bound. And now you are doing something about it, because now you know the root of the problem. When you didn't know, you were crying out and also asking for prayer, because you're saying, I mean, you're doing the right thing, you're in the right position, you have the right posture, and you're praying. What is going on? Could it very well be that you were praying and not praying to break yet the cycle of time, the cycle that comes to revisit around the same time, around the same season, or around the same time of the year? So you have got to break the cycle that came or tried to loop you in time. Okay, so give quick recognition. Recognize the thought, the pattern, the emotion that overrides the will, the voice of God that overrides, that came to suffocate promise. Recognize the emotion that rise when you are now moving forward, and now there's anxiety and there's fear and there's doubt. Or recognize those emotions and now do something with them. Okay, do something. Shut it down, override the language, change the pattern of your thinking. Go through a calibration of your mind. It's time to reset not only your soul, reset your systematic patterns, but also reset your thinking. Okay, so now you will rise up and push back. Not only for those, again, there are those that have risen in times past, and now are in position. Now there are intercessors that are rising up, and now they're pushing back. Obstacles that had prevented them in times past from moving forward. Now they are actively doing something about it. Okay, there's a rising up, and now there is a pushing back against every obstacles, every plot, every scheme that came to stop the movement. I know I'm speaking to someone. What came to stop the flow, the fluidity, because what came to stop mobility. Now you are doing something about it. Okay, so at this point, intercessors, again, though you are going through mazes of time, I'm speaking to the seers. Though you're going through mazes of time, you are again navigating time, you are revealing time, and as the intercessor are decreeing time. It seems like you are trying to find your way, but there's a tailwind that will take you to the finish line. I said that to say this: where it was hard and where you felt that you were alone, and it felt that you were pushing it, and you kept pushing prayers through and getting things done. Recognize that there is help in this season. Recognize that there is a wind in your back. So there's a tailwind that will take you to the finish line. Okay, take you to the finish line. At the same time, the wind will be winding you, which means the winding is to turn or bend you from one direct line or to another surface. Okay, where you were fighting and contending and bombarding heaven, now there's a wind in your back that's winding you, which means it's bending you, it's moving you from to the left, it's moving you to the right. So now you're dodging darts, now you're dodging schemes and plots. It's moving you. Okay, it's winding you. The wind is air in the active sense, or which means the wind is violent and it is strong. And this wind that's in your back, and I pray that this is blessing someone, it represents the spirit. The wind represents the spirit, the vital breath of the creator. The wind, known as the ruach, is the will and the intellect and the emotions of God. Okay, the wind is the ruach, which is the will, the intellect, and the emotions of God. So I said that to say this: what you have been impregnated with in times past and seasons past is now carrying you. What you have been carrying in seasons past is now carrying you. Okay. The ruach represents the power. Okay. But again, the wind is known as the ruach, which is the will, the intent, and emotions of God. But the wind or the ruach now brings a representation. Okay. It brings a representation of the power, the force, the capacity, the potential, the functionality of the spirit. Help is here. Help is here. Mm. Your help is here. My God, I hope this blesses someone. Your help is here. So, therefore, the functionality of the spirit that sustains life. Now you are being sustained. He have not forgot about you. Again, you have been beaten down. You have been forgotten. You have been neglected. You have been talked about. You have been kicked when you're down. But there is the power, the ruach that represents power. Now is a force, the potential, the functionality of the spirit that is sustaining you, holding you together. My God, the prophetic tailwind is a sublime, which means it's prophetic and mysterious at the same time. It is prophetic and mysterious at the same time. The wind represents the orphans or the manifestations of God. God answered Job out of a whirlwind, Job 38 and 1. And the four living creatures appeared to Ezekiel in a strong wind from the north, Job 1 and 4. The wind was a symbol of transcendence. When I said trans, it's transcendence. The wind is a symbol of transcendence, the quality or state of being, transcendence. Psalm 78 and 39 states, the wind is a fruitless striving. The wind represents fruitless and striving. Ecclesiastes 1 and 14, can't get my words together. Ecclesiastes 1 and 14. The wind represents a fruitfulness and a striving. Job 6 and 26. It represents a desperateness. The wind represents a desperateness. Jeremiah 10 and 13. The wind was a mighty force which God could command. Okay. Psalms 104 verse 4. The wind did God's bidding. Exodus 15 and 10. The wind connected with God's will, that it is called his breath, which he blew on the sea to cover the chariots of Pharaoh. Job 37 and 10. God froze the rivers. Hebrews 1 and 7. In the New Testament, God makes his angels wind. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. God, with the breath of his mouth, will destroy the wicked one. I said that to say this. Know your timing. The wind is powerful. It is the potential. It is also a force that represents the spirit. It also has its function or the functionality and also the capacity. It is sustaining you. I said that to say this, that you are in a time of acceleration. You are moving with acceleration. Know your timing, because if you are not in sync, your prayers out of season or out of time, because the creator's word does not return to him void, but you got to make sure that you're in the right season and in the right time. And where there was a force and a bombarding, now there's an acceleration that is a part of your prophetic promise. God says, I am propelling you forward. There's a prophetic tailwind. I will shift you from one dimension to another at breakneck speed. A lot of your intercession will go from one dimension to the next dimension at breakneck speed. I'm saying this to know for you to know your timing, know your release and the functionality of your release. Because at one time it seems that we're travailing and we're crying out while bombarding heaven. And there's this time or a season where you just release the word of the Lord and it manifests just like that. Know your timing. Know your season. So there's a prophetic tailwind. I will shift you from one dimension to another at a breakneck speed. Your seasons are overlapping. Your seasons are overlapping. Have eyes to see and ears to hear. Your seasons are overlapping. The word of the Lord says, I will make the crooked places straight so that you can run. It's time to move with haste. This time you will run with tailwinds at your back. This time you will run without the weights that slows you down. This time you will run with a new confidence, with transformed mind and new strategies. My God, I pray this is blessing you. My prophetic tailwind is available to you. It'll take you through places. I hear the Spirit of the Lord. I have called you to and discern my will in the running. Run towards that which I have set before you. Don't run to the right or to the left. Do not resist. My prophetic tailwind momentum by showing you the pace in this season. Don't resist. My momentum is pulling away from the direction I've given you. The synergy between us and the synergy between the people that I have called you to run with, to pray for, to travail for, to be a midwife for, to execute and advance my kingdom. My will drive and multiply the max and maximize the momentum in your life. It's time. Know your timing. Know your timing. In conclusion, we're coming to an end. The Spirit of the Lord says, trust me now, for the most difficult obstacles will blow to you. I'm sorry, will bow to you, will bow to you. The most difficult obstacles will bow to you. For the intercessors, I say that to say this, for the intercessors that have been warring and contending, this is your season of rest. The most difficult obstacles will bow to you. Trust me now for your new beginning. God is saying to intercessors, trust me now for your new beginning. Trust me now for your new beginning. Trust me now for the outcome. Trust me now for the money. Trust me now for the place. Trust me now for the car. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Trust me now for the deliverance of the past. Trust me now, and I will thrust you and I will guide you into your next. For those that have been fighting, contending, and being that light that guides and sharing wisdom and pouring and emptying out of yourself, the Creator is saying, trust me now, and I will thrust you and guide you into your next. Trust me now, my momentum is with those who have laid down their own agendas, my God, and picked up my agenda and lean into my heart to hear the direction. My spirit is a moving, my God. There's a prophetic wind in your back. This is the time. Move with haste. This is the time when you have emptied out yourself, you have poured into everybody else, and you, matter of fact, you are downright bankrupt, can't breathe, don't have the energy. God is saying, this is your time. He said, trust me now. Let me be the wind in your back. Let me thrust you, maneuver you, take you from one place to the next. You have carried me, my glory, my God, from one season to the next. Let me in this season carry you. Let the Creator in this season carry you. This is your time of rest. This is your time of rest. This is not for everybody, but this is for somebody. This is your time of rest. And I pray that this has been a blessing to you. And I pray that you recognize that there's a prophetic tailwind in your back. And you know that this is your time of rest. I'm Dr. Lavella McGarry. Thank you for joining us. And also be with us tomorrow as we continue the 21-day prayer initiative. God bless you.